It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
It's 6 o'clock, a little after 6, about 7 minutes after the hour. 53 minutes of the hour. Here in Los Angeles, and finally, we have a weekend where you can go outside and enjoy yourself, maybe do a little weeding, cut the lawn, go out and ride your bike, and it's not 115 degrees outside. It's going to be nice and cool tonight in the San Fernando Valley. Right, last week it was 150 degrees, but tonight in the San Fernando Valley, the low is going to be 61 degrees. 61 degrees. On Monday, 58, the high of 73. And it's going to be nice all the way till Thursday of next week. After Thursday, it's going to be 83, 88, 88. It's going to get hot. For people going to Las Vegas for the big iHeart Music Festival, which happens 1 week from today, September 20th and 21st. I will see you there. It's going to be 82 on Friday for that iHeart Music Festival in Las Vegas. 82, beautiful weather. 88 on Saturday. 82 on Friday, 88 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday. So if you're going, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, how about this? 61 is going to be the low in Las Vegas for the iHeart Music Festival. And 75 will be the high in Las Vegas next Thursday, 1 week from yesterday. The very next Thursday in Vegas, 75 degrees is the high temperature in the desert. Now, Andrew, I know that you're a desert rat. Is that an insult or is that a compliment?
I don't know. Like if you say it, I guess it's an insult because you're not from the desert.
Okay,
but right. if somebody from the desert says it to me, I guess it's okay. I don't know.
Okay, when you're in Hawaii, they call people who are not natives, they call them mainlanders.
Yeah.
Is there a term for city folk where you live that's pretty insulting?
You mean like if you were to come there, like what we would call you?
Yeah, well, how do you refer to people who don't live up in the desert? City a-holes?
You guys don't come up, so we don't have a name for you.
How long have you been living in the upper desert? The high desert.
I moved back in 2016 after living in LA and Orange County for about 12 years. So
just missed the desert, huh?
Yeah, that's just where the world, left me. So
sure.
I've been up there now for I guess about 6-7 years.
And you live in the Apple Valley area?
No, I grew up in Apple Valley. I'm now in the Victorville area.
Oh, okay. I like that area.
Closer to the freeway.
I can't believe how big Victorville has gotten. When I was a kid driving through Victorville to get to Las Vegas, you didn't see any lights on at night. It was just dark. And now it looks like the San Fernando Valley up there.
Yeah, that SB1, they've been doing a lot of Caltrans work on the 15 to widen it.
Yes.
I'm assuming eventually they will finish that. It's kind of like the 405 Sepulveda Pass. It took forever to finish. So
right.
It's kind of where they're at right now.
And here's how I noticed and we have a big listenership up there, too. I know a lot of people live up in the high desert listening to KFI, from the Antelope Valley all the way up to Victorville. But I knew that area was going to take off. I knew it already did. When driving home from Las Vegas on a Sunday. I remember I left Las Vegas at, it must have been about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And I got to Victorville around 5 or so. We stopped to eat. I got to Victorville around 5 o'clock, and there was traffic down the Cajon Pass all the way like it was the Sepulveda Pass.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
So it's about 460,000 people, and in the next 20 years, they're projecting that to double.
Really?
Yeah, that's where it's at right now with growth.
What's the attraction out there? Just the cost of living?
Yeah.
Period?
It's kind of like the Inland Empire, like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. That's kind of where the high desert is as far as like living, affordability now.
But they're going to also have to expand the 15? The 15 freeway through the Cajon Pass. At some point, there's like 2 lanes.
Yes.
And I'm like, come on. 2 cars can come down from the high desert at once. But I enjoy that. I like the desert. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't be opposed to it. We looked out in the Antelope Valley. I looked at a house when my daughter was born. It wasn't Lancaster. It was it was actually between the two of them. I don't remember where there's Lancaster or Palmdale, but I enjoyed how much house and property you can get there for your money. You can really stretch out.
Yeah, they buy toys, like the off-road vehicles. They stick them in your backyard because you have a backyard.
Yeah, they're right. And you can take them out to the desert and enjoy yourself. And I like the fact that the high desert is what the San Fernando Valley used to be in the early 70s, where there aren't a lot of people busting your balls about, where you're taking your ATV or what hey, you can't smoke here, you can't do this, you can't drink there. The lawlessness up there, and I'm saying it in a good way, I like that. That people can be a little more politically incorrect up there without being told what to do. I enjoy that. I think you made a good move. How long have you been living in that area?
Since 2016, it's when I moved back to the area.
Okay. And they have a lot of, I noticed they have a lot of warehouses there. A lot of people, a lot of equipment's brought into Victorville and then brought into smaller trucks down to Los Angeles.
Yeah, so it's similar to what's been happening on the eastern side of the Inland Empire with a lot of logistics, distribution, warehouses and stuff. So that boom is happening now up there.
And they have, I think, the greatest outlet mall there I've ever been to. It's certainly the biggest. The one that's just north of Victorville there?
Yeah.
On the 15 freeway?
Oh, over in Barstow, the outlets?
Is it Barstow? I guess it is Barstow.
Lenwood.
Lenwood,
sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lenwood,
But you know that that outlet mall is kicking ass when it has 3 hotels.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think either 2 or 3 hotels right there.
Yeah.
You can stay at the outlet mall if you'd like. That is great. But I enjoy that area. I really like it. And again, when I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, there was a McDonald's and an In-N-Out up there. That was it. And there was nothing else. But I guess there's a big mall out there in Victorville now, too.
Yeah, there's a mall. We have what they call Restaurant Row. There's several chain franchise, restaurants that you can eat at. I mean, you could spend a couple hours in that area and then, on your way to Vegas or on your way back to L.A.
Right. And again, I'm not saying this just because I work here at KFI. I would have said it even before and again after I work here at KFI. But I think there's a lot of people who live in the high desert that listen to the station.
They do, because I walk into places and people don't know my face necessarily. And they say, are you on the radio? And I go, do you listen to KFI going up and down the hill? They go, yeah. And I'm Andrew Caravella. They go, oh my gosh, I listen to you.
Oh, that's great.
And no joke.
That's great.
Not to brag for you, but most of the time when I have those interactions, they say they love Conway.
Oh, that's great.
Or on the flip side of that, they love John Cobell.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. That seems to make sense.
Yeah, those are the two for that area. That's the audience.
That makes sense. That certainly makes sense, especially John Cobell. I bet he's huge. He could move up there. He'd be the king of Victorville.
He would.
Man, that guy would be the mayor in a heartbeat. He'd win 100% of the vote up there, no matter who he's running against. That's really cool. I love that area. I love the Inland Empire. But, man, I got a soft place in my heart for that Victorville and the high desert. I like the people out there. They seem different, but in a good way. There are a lot of family people up there, a lot of people raising good kids up there. And whenever war breaks out, I know that there's a disproportionate amount of people who sign up to be in the armed services from the high desert.
Major veteran population and military support, yeah.
They risk it all so idiots like me could be on this station. I appreciate that.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
All right, lots going on. Again, a beautiful weekend. Weather-wise, last weekend it was 100. On Friday of last week, it was 115 degrees in Burbank. And right now, that's because that's where we are. The station is in Burbank. And right now in Burbank, California, 74 degrees. 74, 84, 94, 104, 104, 42 degree difference. 42 degree difference from last week, last Friday, to today. 42 degrees. That is unbelievable. All right, old school, going old school. People are buying nostalgic office supplies again at the office supply store.
They say everything old is new again.
That's right.
And apparently that's very true these days when it comes to office and school supplies.
Oh my gosh, you guys. 90s kids unite.
Gen X and millennial shoppers posting their glee onto social media.
Yeah, the peachy folders are back. The pencil carriers are back. The old notebooks that had blue jean cover on them.
With their old school finds.
When it comes to organization, you either got it or you don't.
Remember the Trapper Keeper? The
Yes.
popular retro binder that all the cool kids had is making a comeback on store shelves nationwide.
It kept papers and this and that. And I'm explaining what a Trapper Keeper is.
And it's not just the adults buying in. According to Axios, nostalgic-style school supplies are popular with kids, too. Marketing experts say the rush for retro is like comfort food for consumers.
People prefer or turn to nostalgic items, especially in times where things might seem a little bit chaotic, because they connect the past with the present. This
That's
gives us
correct.
kind of a sense of stability and self-continuity.
Yeah, or it was just a better time. You know, it was just we go back to better times where we felt better about the country. Maybe that's possible as well.
And 90s brands like Caboodles and Lisa Frank now being introduced to a new generation. Celebs like Taylor Swift even using an old school typewriter and a TikTok to reveal new song lyrics earlier this year. But others like Dolly Parton never gave up the old way.
Yeah, I look, when albums went out in the 80s or so, they were replaced by cassette tapes and then CDs. A lot of people got rid of their albums, their vinyl, and their record players, but those are back in. If you go to, if you went to Target 2 years ago, there might be one or two albums that they had for sale. Now they got an entire section of people buying albums. And a song just sounds differently on an album played on a record player. There's something cool about that. So I think people are going back to that. I don't know if we're going to go back to VCRs. I think that ship has sailed. I don't think, we're going to go back to renting videos. I mean, I wish we would. Some of my fondest memories of the 80s and 90s were going to a Blockbuster and just looking around for a couple hours to see, what movies to rent. Hope that does come back, but I don't think it will.
Dolly does not text.
The Queen of Country is famously known for using what's now considered an archaic form of technology.
Every time I coordinate and kind of communicate with Dolly, it's still through fax.
Even to her goddaughter, Miley Cyrus.
We do use the phone, but she does a fax, and then someone scans the fax, and then they put it into a text message, and then that gets sent to me.
Oh, that's great. That's old school.
Amy Webb owns the sticker shop in Cincinnati. She says it's all about creating a bridge between the past and present for her customers.
It has really been cross-generational. I do think that Gen X, we are in our nostalgia era.
I wonder if there'll be a generation that just says no to cell phones. I know our entire lives are consumed by it. Every time you wake up, the first thing you reach for is your cell phone. The last thing you look at before you go to bed is your cell phone. You carry it around with you all day long, and you look at it more than you look at anything else in your life. You look at that cell phone, and you buy things on it. You sell things on it. You get information out of it. It's really a tremendously valuable tool. But I wonder if there's going to be a generation in the future, and maybe now, maybe not now, maybe not the next 20, 30, 40, 100 years. But I wonder if there will be a generation that said, you know what, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to go back to old school. The one thing that I do miss is going home and turning and seeing the answer machine blinking. If that light was blinking, you had messages, and you wanted to see who the hell called you. To see, whether it was a girl that you had called and she called you back, whether it's guys that are planning on a Vegas trip. And with text, you see it instantly now, and you don't get that ramp up. But when you have an answer machine and that light was blinking, or if you had a modern answer machine, it'll be blinking and it'll show the number of messages. It'll be blinking 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever it is. And then you go through all of them. And it's like a poker hand. You don't know what card's coming next. And it was really cool. But that doesn't exist. It does exist, but nobody does that anymore.
So my brother's a Gen Xer.
Yep.
And he's the only person where I've customized his ringtone on my phone. Everything else is generic. And it's purposely the AOL dial-up ringtone sound.
Oh, that's great.
So when it's in my pocket and he calls, people look at me like, do you have dial-up in your pocket? I go,
that's awesome.
I go, it's my brother.
That is great, man.
It's a fun one.
And it's funny, you brought up Gen Xers, and all three of my cousins are, and they're the only people, when they leave a message on my phone, they'll say, it's Monday, May 14th, and about 6 o'clock. So I wanted to, but I'm like, everything is on the phone. You don't have to tell me.
I still do that when I called my daughter before we started today, and she picked it up. I said, hey, Soph, it's your dad. And she's like, Dad, I know who it is.
Yeah.
But I do it every single time.
Chris Little does that when he calls me to come in and fill in. He goes, hey, it's Chris Little. I go, I know. It's been Chris Little for the last 3.5 years. Thank you.
Anytime I call my parents or my grandma, I go, hey, it's me, as if you're supposed to know who me is.
Oh, that's irritating.
Me is me.
Kiki, I don't usually give unsolicited opinions much because I don't like to get them myself, but you got to change that. You got to stop with the it's me. Guys don't like that at all.
That was even a Seinfeld episode. You're like, oh, she's pulling at the it's me? How am I supposed to know that?
hey, it's me. And yeah, how are we supposed to know that? My mom used to do that all the time. Hey, it's me. I'm like, who's me? She goes, your mother, you stupid son of a... I'm like, oh, God, it really set you off, didn't it, Ma? Did it really set you off? But yeah, I don't like the, hey, it's me. You know what I also don't like? And Gina Grad, by the way, who's with the Woody Show. I don't know if anybody knows that. She's the new character in the cast of the Woody Show every morning on Alt 98.7. But she does a great impersonation of this. And this is skin crawling. Skin crawling, what I'm about to do. But a guy and a girl who spend the first night sleeping together all night. They wake up in the morning. They're both uncomfortable because they just met recently or last day or week or month or whatever. And they wake up, they're looking at each other, and one of them says, hey, you. I can't do that without my skin crawling. Hey, you. Oh, my God. That's the most uncomfortable hey, you ever invented. Ever. And then you have to do the, you got to try to get the hell out of there.
A walk of shame.
Oh, yeah. And then you don't know whether to say, I'll call you later, or whether that's going to set her off. Using that lame term.
You just got to say, thanks. Have a nice day.
I'll call you later. She throws something at you. Hey, call me later, you son of a... What's wrong with you? Like, oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
It is Friday at 6:36, so we do this every Friday. We play sound effects, and we test your ears. We test your ears to see how good they are. You got bad ears, you got good ones. You got young ones. Young ears are better than old ears. Old ears suck. Old ears need help, hearing aids. And my grandfather had a hearing aid, and I sort of was jealous of him towards the end and as I got older, because he had a button on it where he can shut it off. And when he turned it off, he was completely deaf, couldn't hear anything. And I remember when my grandmother would talk to him, I could see him slowly, like, pretend to scratch his head, and I saw him push that button, and it was off. He shut down. Shut it down. My grandparents had an odd relationship. My grandfather smoked 2 packs of cigarettes his entire life, his entire adult life. Maybe since he was even before he was an adult. But he came from Ireland, first generation, or I think second generation Irish, and came to America when he was 18, met my grandmother, and smoked 2 packs of cigarettes between the time he was 18 until he was 73 or 72. I think it was 72. And when he quit smoking, I mean, he smoked in the house, windows up in Cleveland in the winter, snow, 8 feet of snow outside. He didn't care. He enjoyed his cigarettes. He liked those. And he'd roll his own sometimes. Mostly he bought it at the store, and he enjoyed that. So this is, I don't know what year this was, maybe the late 70s. And he said to my grandmother, and they shared a house they were a 1-car family. So my grandmother would drive him to work every day and then pick him up. 1-car family. That was the norm back then. Nobody had 2 cars. And he said to my grandmother, he said, you notice anything different about me? And she looked at him and she said, is that a new shirt? And he said, no, I've had it for 20 years. And she said, are those new glasses? And he said, no, I've had those longer than the shirt. And she said, have you lost weight? And he said, a little, but that's not what I was talking about. And she said, I give up. What is it? And he says to her, I quit smoking 2 years ago. And you know what her response was? Oh, I didn't know it. I didn't notice. He smoked 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes in the house every day. And he quit. And he was smoke-free for 2 years. And asked her if she noticed anything different. And she did not. That's the relationship they had. They loved each other. Didn't spend a lot of time with each other. They had separate beds their entire life. I don't ever remember them ever hugging each other, holding hands, or even getting within 4 feet of each other. Ever. Except at dinner. I noticed that my grandfather would come to dinner, we'd sit next to her at dinner. That's as close as they got. All right, it's time to figure out what these sounds are. All right, you can play at home. You can play on the air here, and we'll start with Steph. Actually, Kiki or anybody wants to chime in here. Andrew or Angel. But Angel, are you with us?
I am. Yeah.
Did Mike O'Brien fly over Burbank about 10 minutes ago? Or is he back in?
So.
Okay, all right. Because I saw a plane look like him outside. All right, here we go. Name this sound effect. Here we go, kids. You can play at home. You can play here if you're part of the program. Here we go. What brand is that for?
Coke.
That's right. Whoever said Coke.
Oh.
All right.
Kiki nailed it. Kiki nailed it. Coke.
Woohoo.
Diet Coke. Coke Zero.
The HBO. Intro.
That's right. HBO. Whoever said HBO nailed that one. Home box office. Next one.
Oh, that's the Intel.
That's correct.
Pentium thing, yeah.
Caravella. Andrew nailed it. Intel. Next one. Anybody?
Ooh.
That's a rather complicated one.
I remember. I just can't think of the name.
It sounds old.
Yeah, it does sound old. Nobody?
Sounds like Christmas for some reason.
LG. Oh, that's actually a good connection. You know, people buy stuff from LG for Christmas. All right. Next.
Mac.
That's right. Apple. Yes. Kiki's nailing it with these sound effects. All right. Next one. Here we go. Anybody?
Got me.
Need to hear it
that
again?
one. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. One more time. Ding dong. This sound effect. Nothing? Anybody?
No.
MasterCard.
Oh.
Yeah, MasterCard. All right.
McDonald's.
That's right. Kiki nailed it. That is McDonald's. I'm loving it. Ding dong.
Netflix.
That's right. Angel Martinez for the win. Angel Martinez. Netflix. Next. Here we go. Sound effects.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It is?
Can you play?
Prime Original.
Oh, okay.
Amazon Prime Original.
Oh, AOL.
That's right. wait a minute. I think that's AOL. Let's see
I
here.
thought that was like
Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
Motorola or
Oh,
something.
no. It's not AOL. Let's listen to it again. It's not AOL. Here we go.
Is that Sprint?
That's
No. Sprint's very close.
No, like T-Mobile?
Yes, T-Mobile.
Yeah.
T-Mobile. That's
They
right.
bought out Sprint.
That's correct.
That's Windows, right?
Windows.
When you turn it off or turn it on.
Oh, that's not part of the game. I'm shutting my computer down. Sorry. We should have done that later. I thought it was closer to 7. That's wrong.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Stories we didn't get to this week because of the fires. We had 3 fires burning: the bridge fire, the line fire, and the airport fire. And they seem to have most of them under control. Let me do a final check here just in case if anything popped up here. But it looks like, yes. They have the park fire. Let's see here. The bridge fire The line fire and the bridge fire, 3% contained. The line fire, 25% contained. That's huge. 38,000 acres on that. The bridge fire, 52,800 acres. That exploded to be the biggest of all three of the fires here. Then we have the airport fire, 9% contained. That's a good number. 9% is good. 23,500 acres in Orange County, burning over to Riverside. So it's been a long week. A lot of heat. A lot of fire over the last couple of weeks. It's been very, very trying for a lot of people living here in Southern California. And the stories that we didn't get to because of all the fires, Justin Timberlake pled guilty to a lesser charge in his drunk driving incident in New York. I think it was in the Hamptons, right?
Justin Timberlake has pleaded guilty in his drunk driving case in New York. The singer entering his plea in a Sag Harbor court this morning. As part of a plea deal, he admitted to a lesser charge of driving while impaired. Timberlake was arrested in June after police say he ran a stop sign and veered out of his lane. The judge ordered him to pay a fine and perform community service. The singer also agreed to appear in PSAs about the dangers of drunk driving.
That's when you know you're famous. When part of your punishment is to tell everybody not to do what you just did.
To appear in PSAs about the dangers of drunk driving.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
There you go. Mark Brown. How you, bub? Nice to see you. I love how that story ended.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Mark Brown. Ding dong with you. All right, so that's one story we didn't get to. Justin Timberlake drinking and driving. You know how he got caught, by the way? Somebody in his party called the cops and dropped a dime on him. They think it may have been somebody at the restaurant, somebody in his party, or a bartender that said, hey, this guy's leaving here. He's bombed and shouldn't be driving. That's how he got nailed. Bon Jovi, another musician in the news. We didn't get to that because of all the fires. But this guy saved a woman's life.
A chance encounter with John Bon Jovi turning into a life-changing moment. The legendary rocker in the right place at the right time Tuesday when police say he and his team helped save a woman on a Nashville bridge.
You know what? This looks authentic, but I always hesitate. I always stay on high alert when a celebrity is caught on camera saving somebody's life. I always think there's something more than that. But this one I can't figure out. I think this one is authentic.
The woman standing dangerously on the ledge over the Cumberland River. Bon Jovi then seen on surveillance footage released by police, walking over and talking with her for about a minute before helping her climb over the railing to safety.
Yeah, but I will say this. This is not the Golden Gate Bridge. This bridge is about 12 feet above the water. So I think if she fell over, she'd simply just get wet.
The two later embracing in an emotional hug.
Wow, how about that?
The Grammy-winning singer, who had been filming a music video on the bridge at the time, may have been just the right person to talk to in that heart-wrenching moment. NBC News confirming the musician has had extensive training in speaking to individuals in crisis through his JBJ Soul Foundation.
Well, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that.
The organization helps people living in poverty across the U.S., including those facing hunger and homelessness. A mission Bon Jovi took to heart this week in Nashville and is living every moment.
There you go. Congratulations to John Bon Jovi. Mo Kelly is with us. I was talking about you because I believe of all the people on the air here, now that Ken Shampoo is gone, I think you and I are the only Rams fans in the building.
Can you tell everyone what I'm wearing right now?
You're wearing a Rams shirt.
Yes, that's correct.
That's great.
Yes.
He no longer plays for the team, but you got his shirt on.
Well, yeah, it's Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
You know, can't go wrong.
That's right. Did you buy it before or after he quit?
Oh, long before. This is, people can't see, but this is the older version of the uniform where they had the old gold and the deep blue. So this is maybe 6-7 years old.
You know, I go back old school. I don't want to out myself as how old I am, but I go back to Rowan Gabriel. I saw Rowan Gabriel play, and they were blue and white when I started watching them.
I started watching the Rams back in 1976 or 77.
Okay.
You know, Lawrence McCutcheon.
Yeah. You got the Dickerson year and his time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I went to my first Rams game. It was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they were an expansion team.
Oh,
and
wow.
they went 0-14 back when they had 14 games.
Right.
So the Rams won like 33-0. It was at the Coliseum.
So you go back long enough to remember when the Rams made the playoffs, there was the Cowboys or the Vikings that would wipe them out.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Usually Starbuck and the Cowboys would just come in and wipe them out.
Yeah, and I remember crying when the Rams finally made it to the Super Bowl and lost in the fourth quarter to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know, my dad was a big Rams fan as well, and he made a mistake in that game, and he told me at halftime that he put $50 for each one of his kids on Pittsburgh, and I changed allegiance for that second half. I was rooting for Pittsburgh at that point to get that 50.
Yeah.
And they covered.
And I remember I ran into Terry Bradshaw many years later when I was working for Jim Rome, and I said, I'm still mad at you for what you did in that Super Bowl. He said, kid, get the F over it. True story. True story.
That Super Bowl was here.
Yes.
Was it the Rose Bowl?
The Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember watching that sucker on TV. What's on the big show tonight?
Of course, it's Friday. And it's also Friday the 13th, so we're going to be doing horror movies and name that movie called Classic.
Excellent. I will be listening. Mo Kelly's whole team up right now on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.